Hello, everybody. Michael Hilf here with Janet Namaste. I am so excited and proud to be able to offer you guys my personal intuitive coach, both in my career path and my personal life. She's been there for me for a number of years, and I've worked with her, and I love her, and she has so much to offer. She's really been a great, amazing guide for me, again, both in my business life and my personal life. And she does this for CEOs around the world, celebrities, and all walks of life. And I'm excited to have you on today, Janet. So thank you so much for taking the time. I know how busy you are with your schedule. So thanks for taking a couple minutes just to share with the world what you're up to. And I'll turn it over to you to introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. It's an honor. It's an honor. So, hi, everyone. I'm Janet Namaste, and I have been doing intuitive work for the past 20 years. I actually have a degree in education, and then I furthered my studies in computer science. And having a family that majority are they're physicians and scientists. So, as a child, I knew that I had a gift of bringing out the gifts in other people. I just didn't know how, but I was able to navigate through and be the light of the soul and teach them how to go on their path. And throughout my life, trials and tribulations, whatever may have happened at age 11, when I had a huge wake-up call with also, I was diagnosed with something, and then I went through my own healing journey. And then later on in my 20s, and when my daughter was born at 28, I experienced many, many miracles, and this was hands-on. And I knew that when my daughter was born, and I never went back to the corporate world, she was born with a condition that could have caused permanent blindness, but through medical intervention and I knew that I had to go on my path, my journey, and teach others of what it is that I came on this planet to do. So I've been working, yes, with the C-suite people, with celebrities for many years, and also one-on-one clients. And what I do is I specialize in something called destiny sessions. And this is something in which we begin tuning into the essence of your soul, and where you become aligned with what it is that you came onto this planet to do, not just to work and die. There's so much more to that, and about finding your own peace and balance. So yeah, this is, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and this is, I came here to serve others.
And you're an amazing intuitive and friend. And I got to tell you, when we met, the universe was certainly aligned. Because when I came to you, I was in an interesting place in my life with a lot of anxiety and fear.
Yeah.
And I run 7 businesses, and I have a chaotic life. And you helped me center myself. You helped me gain clarity, and you helped me understand my purpose in life through these sessions, especially the Destiny session. And I'm just so grateful that we connected, because everything just became clear. It was like the fog went away, clarity showed up, and then the fear and anxiety, because I had certainty and clarity, the fear and anxiety just went away. And now my life is balanced. I have harmony. I have a good work-life balance with my family and my career. And I just am so grateful and thankful for you, because you assisted me in, nudging me on my path with our intuitive sessions. So thank you for that.
You're so welcome. But, I have to say, though, it's when, how they say when a student is ready, a teacher will appear, right? But it has to be when a soul is actually ready to do the work. Because years ago, when I wasn't living in my authentic truth, meaning I didn't want to come out of the spiritual closet per se, I didn't want to appear so woo-woo, airy-fairy, because especially of, my surroundings and everything like that, there's definitely levels of shadow work that has to be done, of removing those aspects of what isn't your truth. And when you start and your soul is ready to go into the truth, into the doors of your truth, then synchronicity starts happening. You start meeting the right people, the right coaches, the right business partners. And I think that's what happened that night. You know, it was like magic happened where we were all aligned and you were just ready to do the work. And it's being open to whatever, to all possibilities, not, you know, of surrendering to the way of being led, not always having to lead. And it's hard when when our intelligence, and especially you run 7 businesses, you're always thinking analytically of how to flow chart. So finding that beautiful balance of going on the path of truth and letting go at the same time, when you feel there's a lot at stake, it takes trust. So definitely it has to be when a person is ready, and it has to be the right person, you know.
Well, I was certainly ready. I was certainly ready. I wish I was. I wish my ego was ready earlier, but I'm happy that I allowed myself to surrender at that time, because it changed my life. And it was a very short. It was literally like one session, and my whole life was like, oh, it's all going to be okay. It was pretty amazing. And then of course many sessions from there that we've done work, and you know, past life regression therapy. And I know you were very close with Dr. Brian Weiss with Many Lives, Many Masters, one of my favorite books of all time. If you don't mind talking quickly about that, that'd be really, really powerful.
Oh my God, that book changed my life. When I was a teenager, in the 1990s, when I was a teenager, I remember, you know, my mom had that book. She went through her own trials and traumas in her life, and I guess somebody gave that book to her as a gift. And I think it was published in the 1980s, if I'm not mistaken. I read that book as a teenager in high school, maybe junior year. Later on, went through college not knowing what I wanted to major in. I took it, it was like maybe the 5 or the 6-year plan, you know. And then when I was in the city working on, I was working on 37th and 7th in New York City. And at that time, that's when I was working for a .com. At that time, the internet wasn't like, you know, there was no Eventbrite, you know, there was nothing like that. You would see this flyer and it was called a Learning Annex. And I saw Dr. Weiss was in New York, and I'm like, oh my God, I read this book. I read this book about 3 times. And then I met him in my early 20s when he did this past life regression for hundreds of people. And out of those hundreds of people, and me being an alpha female, I'm like, there's no way that I could be regressed amongst, especially with, you know, in a group. But I was regressed. And out of those hundreds of people, I was chosen, and we were one-on-one on actually the Sally Jesse Raphael show.
Wow.
And which is really funny. And that's when he regressed me on national television. And a lot of things, it just validated my path. And what came out during that regression was the way that when you are under hypnosis, it appears like sometimes it's metaphorical, and sometimes it appears like when we were younger, we had this toy called the viewfinder, you know, people who were born in the 70s and 80s. And all it is different like slides of images, but you sense it. And what came out in that hypnosis, in that regression, was something about me giving birth in a past life and passing away, not being able to see my child. And I kept on saying, she's never going to see me. She's never going to see me. And I was crying. The emotions are absolutely real, because it's all of our memories, all of our experiences. It lives in our soul. It's in the DNA of our soul. And what had happened, that was when I was 24. At 28, my first child was born, and she was born with a condition that if we didn't intervene, she would have never seen us. But, you know, so it's interesting how people, and I was ready at that moment at 24 meeting him. And after that, it just inspired me, and I became a regressionist, a past life hypnotist or hypnotherapist. And ever since then, it is, you know, and I kept myself quiet for a while because I didn't want to appear so woo-woo, but now it is amazing therapy, because we get to the root of what our blockage may be in this present life. There's so much more to us than what appears, you know, at the present moment. Multifaceted, multi-layered.
And this is something that I know from my own personal experience, but I also know that, you know, C-suite and people that aren't in business, people that are just
Oh,
looking for life's purposes for everybody. You know, I know it sounds woo-woo-y, like you said. I think that's funny you say
right.
woo-woo, but it can sound that way. But you gotta understand, this is like, we're all part of the same planet. We're all human beings. We all have these emotions. We all have different ways, different paths, and this is just a way to connect differently than you're used to, and be open to the possibility of, maybe this is something that could be interesting for me to look at in my life.
Of course. And you know what? We are all the same in the sense that we're made up of soul. That's the essence of who I am. That's the essence of who you are. And, you know, I appear here right now as Janet Namaste, the teacher, the mentor, the coach, the intuitive, but you know, we're much more than that. We came here on a mission to really find our gift, find our truth, and then just give it away, serve others with it. And we're spirit, which is the essence of God, which, you know, we're not going to get into religion. We're the way source, or the creator of all. When you look at even a morsel of grass or molecule of air, where does it come from, right? And then we're body. And all of us are actually the same in the sense where we all want and we all desire the same thing. And what we all desire is happiness. The way that the way that we all differentiate, and the way everything is, how we differ actually, is the fact of our path, our quest to happiness. Some people may think their quest to happiness is through fame, through money, through relationship, but ultimately it's what we came on this planet to do. We all want to be happy. It's just the way that we go about it.
And I'm going to thank you for helping me become fulfilled in my life, for allowing me to find happiness. So thank you for that. And now the opportunities for everyone to have a free download to a free meditation. You're going to see it here in this post. It's totally free. Go download it from Janet Namaste as a gift. Thank you so much for today. I love you so much. Thank you for everything you do for me. I'm excited for our next session, which is coming up.
Yes, it is.
By the way.
Can't wait. Thank you, Michael. All the best to you. It's been an honor, and happy Mother's Day to Elena and to your mom, and just be well. Thank you. Namaste.